Audrey, you're not going into stock and dressed like that.
I was going riding this morning.
Nick asked us all to meet him at the station.
What could be so
And
important?
we're all going to be there. Now go up and change your clothes and poke your head in Jared's door. I have a feeling he went back to sleep. Good morning.
It's supposed to be my vacation.
Well, I'm sure meeting Nick isn't going to ruin it completely.
Oh, good morning,
Good
Silas.
morning, Jean. Good morning, Miss Barkley.
Good morning, Silas. Have you seen Heath?
Yes, ma'am. He had something to do down at the corral. He said he'd be right back.
Thank you.
Morning, Silas.
Good morning.
Jean. Good morning, Mother.
Darling. How are you feeling?
I'll tell you as soon as I'm awake. I just wish Brother Nick could pick a more convenient hour for his homecomings. I'm not quite up to whatever good news he's bringing us this time.
Good news.
Now, you know perfectly well he's never come back from one of these trips yet without bringing home some earth-shaking discovery. Jean, what was it last time?
Some kind of machine that's supposed to sew faster than by hand.
That was it.
Well, I'll tell you, when Nick gets here, if he has any more of those wild ideas, we'll just ship him right back to San Francisco.
Hello? Where's everybody?
Why, that's Nick.
I thought we were supposed to meet him at the station.
Well, that's Nick for you.
Mother!
Nick, we were going to meet you at the station.
I couldn't wait. I took an earlier train. Mother, this is Hester Converse.
How do you do?
How nice to meet you, Mrs. Barkley.
And the gentleman on her right.
I know, Jared. And Eugene.
How do you do?
Nick! And you must be Audra. Well, where's Heath?
He'll be here soon.
You're all just the way Nick described you. That trip from San Francisco seemed like 1,000 miles. Now that I'm here, I can't really imagine what I was so nervous about.
Hester and I were going to save this until you, well, you had a chance to meet her and really know her, and she had a chance to know you. But I think we better tell him right now. We're going to be married.
Well, what do you know? Congratulations, Nick.
Thank you, Jared.
Oh, gosh, it's really nice to...
Age before beauty, my boy.
Well, Mother, aren't you going to congratulate me?
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, of course,
now.
darling.
And now, to a most charming, gracious, and completely captivating addition to our family.
Sorry I'm late. Nick, you weren't due in till...
We were just toasting my prospective bride, Miss Hester Converse, my brother Heath.
What'd you do, knock her unconscious and drag her here? Welcome to the Barkley family, Hester.
Thank you, Heath.
Oh, what you waiting on? Why don't you go ahead and kiss her? Might be your last chance, you know. I'll get you some champagne.
I'm just off the range.
Nonsense, it's Barkley dirt. And I love it.
Tell me, has Nick mastered this step yet?
Not yet, but I intend to work on it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Who's next?
How about Heath?
Yes, Heath. Come on, it's the rage of the East.
Sorry, I'm not much for dancing, man.
Please, Heath, just for me. Come on, let me talk you into it.
Why don't you try Eugene? He's good at it.
Well, Mother, what do you think of her?
She's lovely.
But
But?
I've only known her a week.
Oh, less than that. You were only gone 5 days.
5 wonderful days. 5 of the most important days I've ever spent. I love her, Mother. From the first minute I met her.
Where was that?
Oh, in a cheap saloon down by the waterfront. She was wearing a red dress. What there was up.
Oh, Nick.
No, I met her at Dave Wallace's party. Well, no, that's not exactly true either. I saw her at the party. She was surrounded by men, 3 deep. I couldn't even get close enough to ask her for a dance. Anyway, Dave told me she had an appointment the following morning at his office. Well, I made an arrangement to be there, too. Finally, Dave came out. He said something about being glad that we finally met. And I said, not half as glad as I am, Dave. Now, if you will properly introduce me to this young lady, I would like to ask her to be my wife. At which point, Dave laughed, and we all laughed. But Hester and I both knew that I wasn't joking.
You do love her, don't you?
She's made me happy.
I can see that.
Ready?
Yeah?
Good.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Eugene, I've seen bears that dance better.
Oh, wait till we get to San Francisco, Nick Barkley, and I start teaching you how to dance.
You're going back to San Francisco?
Oh, Hester's got about 9 million things to do before the wedding, and, well, anything that's to be done around here, Heath can... Oh, a trip to Indian Springs. I forgot about that. I'm sorry, Mother.
Well, it's just that with Jared tied up at the trial, the trip wouldn't be very much fun without you. Both of you, of course.
Hester, how would you like to spend 2 weeks in the most beautiful mountains that God ever created? With a mountain stream where the trout run...
Nick?
That big. And the air so fresh and so clean you could bottle it and sell it.
A camping trip?
Camping and fishing and dancing. Let's not forget the dancing. We've got a logging camp up there, and those Friday night dances, Hester, you haven't lived until you've been to a Friday night dance. Of course, we don't do the same steps that you were demonstrating, but...
Well, actually, I'd love it. It's just that right now I have so much shopping to do for the wedding. I'd planned on going to San Francisco, and then... Well, Nick, I just don't see how I can... All right, we'll go.
Oh, no. Now you've got things to do.
Nick, I want to go. Please keep on with what you're doing. Don't let me disturb you.
You're up early.
Oh, I was so excited I couldn't sleep. Now that I decided to make this trip, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, I hope you won't be disappointed.
I'm sure I won't be. Nick said that I was going to be riding a horse named Jingo. He suggested that I come down and get acquainted with him before we start.
The sorrel in the install.
He's beautiful, and I hope gentle.
Gentle as summer rain from some of our best bloodline.
Breeding, beauty, and strength, all the virtues a woman could ask for in a horse. And in a man, for that matter. What are the virtues you look for, Heath? In a horse, I mean.
Those you mentioned sound pretty good. Except if it were my own horse, I'd add spirit.
I would, too. So it seems we think alike. Were you surprised when you heard that Nick and I were going to be married?
I was.
And did it please you?
Well, I've always found Nick to be a pretty good judge of people.
Well, that's an indirect way of telling me how Nick feels, and I already know that. So you haven't answered my question, which is how you feel about me. Forgive me, Heath, I was just teasing you because, well, you seem so serious all the time. You don't have to answer me now. At least not until you have a chance to get to know me a little better.
Anyone here interested in breakfast?
Well, I'm for that.
Me too. I'm famished.
You coming, Jared?
No, Heath, I've already had mine, but I'll be up to say goodbye. Hester, you got a minute?
Oh, what is it, Jared?
Well, you know, I just realized that we've met before.
Oh?
Yeah, I was up in San Francisco, I don't know, 6, 8 months ago on one of those big fancy occasions.
Well, let's see. Could it have been the governor's ball, maybe?
No, I don't think so.
Or the reception for Madame Modjeska?
No, I think it was one of those charity affairs for a hospital.
Gee.
Well, I'm not surprised you don't remember me. I was only one of your many admirers that danced with you that night.
Well, that's no excuse for my not remembering you, Jared. I apologize.
You're forgiven. You know, Hester, I kind of get the feeling that this camping trip isn't really your idea of fun.
Oh, is that a feeling or a conclusion?
Well, now, I don't know you well enough to draw conclusions, do I?
Well, draw a few anyway. If you're wrong, I'll object.
All right. You know, Hester, Stockton isn't exactly San Francisco. It doesn't have the same excitement or glamour. I'm afraid you won't get the same kind of attention you're used to. I was just wondering if you'd be able to live without all that here in this valley.
Well, I'm marrying Nick, not the valley. Well, the adjustments to living on a ranch will take a little time, but...
I'm not talking so much about the ranch. To be perfectly honest, I was just wondering if you'll be able to give up the game of, well, suitors, if you will.
And on what do you base your doubt?
I don't know. Maybe nothing.
Good, because you're wrong, Jared.
Well, then in that case, the prosecution rests.
Thank you.
Come on, I'll walk you back to the house.
Holding up all right?
Oh, I'm fine.
Well, we'll camp somewhere pretty soon.
Oh, please, sir, not on my account.
From now on, lady, everything I do is on your account. Ow! We'll camp on the other side. Go on ahead. Well, this is it. 50 miles from civilization. What do you think of it?
It's beautiful.
We're going to camp on the other side of that river. Look, I'll help you across. It's kind of rocky, huh?
We'll tell it to Old Faithful here. Watch it. We're coming through.
Hester, don't hit her! Hester.
I'm all right now.
Here. Come. There we go.
Thank you, Heath.
Thanks, Heath. you're looking for Nick, he's down by the stream.
Oh, darn. I wanted to get up first, cook breakfast, and show him what a really wonderful wife I'm going to make him. See you later.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, now. You know I have 5 hungry people back there just counting on me.
Let them starve.
Mm-hmm. All right, you won your point. Now, woman, you go away and let me...
May I try it, please?
Want fish? Well, you know, one of these days, I'm going to learn to say no to you. All right, come on. Let me get rid of this beauty first.
Let's get up.
Hmm? Yeah, right out there. Hold on now. Watch your balance now. All right, now hold in the left hand. That's it. Now take the line. Hold this on the right. That's right. Now, bring it back real slowly and just lay it right out there. See? It's all in the wrist.
I've been told my wrists are magnificent.
All right. Let's try it. Here we go. All right. Hold the string. No, watch it. No! Come on, come on. Whoop. Come on. There we go. Come on.
What happened to him? Claude? Oh, let me see. Oh, yes, that's when I met Franz. He was a Viennese pianist. What was he like? Oh, let me think. He was very short, dark, very intense, and very Viennese. Yes.
You know, it's funny. You're not that much older than I, and yet it's as though I haven't lived at all. It'd take me about 10 seconds to list the men in my life.
Oh, you've got time.
Oh, time, yes, but I'm beginning to wonder. Is the valley the place? Oh, not that my social life is completely barren. Tomorrow night we'll be up at the lumber camp. You haven't lived until you've been to a dance at our lumber camp.
I'd rather dance than...
You were saying you'd rather dance than
clean trout.
Well, outside of cleaning trout, what have you two been up to? I'm sure they could hear you giggling clear back in Sacramento.
We took a short married journey through my past, Mrs. Barclay.
I'll get breakfast started.
How do you like it up here?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
30 years ago, Tom and I crossed those mountains for the very first time. And it's a different world now, but here and now, it seems like yesterday.
Some things never change, do they?
After that first time, Tom and I decided that we'd make the same trip every year. And the year I was carrying Nick, well, it had been a bad time for us. Tom suffered business losses. I had been ill. And Jared was only 4 years old, and he'd had pneumonia, and we almost lost him. Anyhow, one morning, Tom and I woke up, and it was as if we had read each other's mind. And he turned to me, and he said, Victoria. And I said, I know. We're going to make that same trip again. And it was right for us.
You know, On this trip, I kind of feel that you've been testing me.
Do you mind?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't mind. I think in a way I'm glad. Maybe I needed to test myself. But I don't imagine I'm going to pass with flying colors.
But you'll survive.
Yes, Mrs. Barkley. I know what I must look like to you. A fish out of water. But if you'll help me,
I'm going to teach you to make the best Western breakfast in the whole world.
Audra, would you mind going in there and seeing if
She said she'd be just a minute.
An hour ago.
There'll be enough of that.
I'll check.
I guess I should have brought along a full-length mirror.
It's lovely.
Well, it's about... Well, now, on second thought, it was worth it. Yeah. Well, we better be going, huh?
My, don't we all look handsome tonight?
Well, we better get along, huh?
Oh, I hope it isn't far.
No, it shouldn't take you long.
If I went to all this trouble and get there looking like the wreck of the Hesperus, I'll hang myself.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now, don't tell me. I ain't much for dancing, ma'am. Not half bad. You'd be the rage of San Francisco if you'd only learn to hold your partner a little more securely. Don't worry, I won't break.
Thanks for the dance.
Now, you've both had your turns now, huh? I was beginning to think I'd have to marry you before I got a chance to dance with you.
I'm just so tired. Could you please take me back to the camp? Oh, Nick, I love you so much. Nick, can we be married?
I'd like to see anyone try to stop me.
I mean, right away now, tonight. We can leave a note for the family. If I never saw another
I thought you were
horse-
enjoying this.
Well, I was. I mean, I am. But your family's wonderful. They really are. But I want to be with you alone. I want to be married to you.
I want that, too. You know that. Trip will be over in a week. Maybe less. I can arrange it. Just as soon as we get back, we'll be married. The very day we get back, all right?
So warm, I couldn't sleep.
Esther, you were crying.
No, I'm all right now.
Esther, what is it?
Oh, he.
Esther. Nick, you don't understand.
Stop it!
Nick, you're all wrong. It's not like you think.
Nick! Nicky, stop it! Nicky, stop it! Please stop them!
Nick, listen.
stay up there. All right, Heath.
Eugene,
It's all right. I know what it must have looked like. We got to get him to a doctor.
can he travel like this?
He's got to be strapped down tight. Let's get him into the tent.
You better change your clothes. We can manage.
I know this looks like some kind of torture, but we got to keep him as still as possible.
I hope his back isn't broken.
Help me saddle the horses, Eugene. Let's go.
You believe what you want to believe, Mrs. Barkley. Now, may I sit with my fiancé? Alone, please. I don't know what he'll be believing when he comes to, but please give me some time with him.
What happened, Heath?
I don't know. At least not for sure.
Well, you were out there with her.
Let him tell it, Order.
I was coming back from the dance. I heard her crying. I thought maybe she wanted to talk. All I did was ask her what was wrong. Tried to comfort her.
Did you tell Nick that?
No, I didn't have a chance. He came at me
Well,
like...
tell him now.
No, he's got enough trouble now without worrying about what his future wife was crying about.
Mrs. Barkley.
Get me out of here!
Nick. Oh,
You're only making it worse.
Don't you ever touch me.
be quiet.
Get me out of this.
Oh.
Get me out of this.
He's delirious. We better get him to that doctor.
Esther. Esther.
Better find out how deep it is. Too deep for the litter.
What about the place we crossed on the way up?
It's 8 or 10 miles back. All that bouncing around, that's no good. I'll have to get a doctor up here.
I'll get the doctor, Heath. You put that thing together. You see that it works. Okay?
We'll set up camp here. You hurry back. Let's set up camp now. Looks like we're going to be here a while.
Where's everybody?
They're all asleep. How do you feel?
It's better. Will you loosen these? My arms are starting to get numb. A little more. That's it.
Nick, we must talk.
Will you get the legs?
About last night. You know, Heath just heard me crying.
A little more.
He just heard me crying. Nick, you mustn't!
Gotta get out of here.
Nick.
Before it's too late.
We can't.
We've got to.
No.
Well, you wanted to get married, all right? We'll get married just as soon as we get down off this
You're
mountain.
back. You shouldn't.
Come on. Oh. Ah.
Nick.
All right.
He made me do it, Mrs. Barkley. I had no choice.
You always have a choice.
He tricked me into untying him.
Did he also trick you into leaving with him?
Oh, he was in such pain, such need. I couldn't think.
Couldn't think beyond your own selfish need to be Mrs. Nick Barkley? You were ready to risk his life for that.
No, Mrs. Barkley, I was afraid. I was afraid if we waited, I'd change my mind.
Can you talk about it?
I don't know.
To Nick?
Yes.
Hester. Hester. What time is it?
It'll be dawn in a few hours.
How long have I been asleep?
A long time.
Well, seems like a bad dream. Nightmare.
There's a doctor on the way. He should be here very soon.
Heath. What was all that about?
Nick, I tried to tell you. He just heard me crying. And
Crying? Why?
It's traditional. It's a woman's right to cry before she's married.
So you were crying.
And Heath came over to find out what was wrong.
I must be a... You name it. Esther, I love you so.
Nick, I know.
When all this is over, I promise I'll make you so happy.
Nick, do you want to know the real reason why I was crying? It was for the parties, Nick. The dancing, the champagne, and the fun.
You won't be living in a monastery.
No, Nick, it won't be the same.
The Valley's not San Francisco or New York, but parties.
Oh, Nick, I love being beautiful. I love beautiful clothes.
You'll get over that.
Oh, Nick, if you could just make me believe that. Oh, please make me believe it. Nick, you'll help me, won't you? Nick, please help me.
I'll help you. But Hester, you've got to be sure. Very sure. You don't want to be tied down. Be sure.
I'm sorry I took so long getting up here, Mrs. Barkley, but I was kind of tied up. Triplets, as a matter of fact.
Doctor, will he be all right?
Oh, he'll be fine. Just give him these for pain. I don't think he'll need them now. He's been through the worst of it. But whoever thought up that contraption? I don't think it saved his life, Mrs. Barkley, but it sure saved him a long stretch on his back. A good long stretch. I wouldn't move him for 4 or 5 days. Then he should be able to make it on his own.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, would you mind if I rode down with you?
It'll be a pleasure to have your company, miss.
Nick? Nick, I've come to say something, and I hope you'll understand. You told me last night to be sure before making up my mind. But I stayed awake all night, trying to be sure. Trying to be honest with myself like I've never been before. I know now that I wasn't crying because of the parties, the champagne, or the pretty clothes.
Hester,
Please don't try to say anything. Just listen. The truth about Heath is that I wanted to find a way to make him want me. I needed him to want me, as I've always needed the attention of attractive men. Seems I have to keep reassuring myself. Only I'm never truly reassured. If I'd come here with Heath, then I'd have wanted your attention, and I'd have done anything to get it. It's a weakness, a terrible flaw. But at least now I can admit it to myself. And hope someday I'll be ready to devote myself to one man. And I hope he'll be somebody like you.
Hester.
I'm going now, Nick. Because I don't want to hurt you more than I already have. I only ask that you try to understand, and maybe someday you'll find it in your heart to forgive me. Goodbye, Nick.
There he is, sir.
Oh, thank you, Silas.
Hold it. Hold it.
Now, Nick, the doctor said...
I know what the doctor said. That's why I said hold it.
Thanks, Heath. Well, now, don't everyone start applauding. I've been practicing this little stunt for the past 3 days with pretty fair success.
Well, well, now that he can walk, I'd say there's certain catching up to be done around here, wouldn't you, Heath? Like bringing up that herd from Sonora.
We didn't tell you nobody's been able to break your new Appaloosa. It's your turn next.
And I'm going to school tomorrow. So that means you have to fence in the new pasture.
Silas, bring me my wheelchair.